Start by understanding what an array is. In programming, an array is a sequence of variables that all share the same data type. Think of it as a row of boxes, each holding a value, and each box is identified by its position, starting from 0. Arrays help us manage memory efficiently, especially when we need to store lots of similar data like a list of numbers or names. Once you declare the size of an array, it stays fixed. Arrays are objects in Java created during runtime, and they live in the heap memory. They can even hold references to other objects. The main advantage: instead of creating many separate variables, you can use a single array to keep your code clean and organized. This makes handling large amounts of data much easier. Imagine you need to store 20 numbers in your program. You could create 20 separate variables, but that would make your code long and confusing. Instead, by using an array, you only need one variable name and you can access each value using its index. Arrays make your code simpler and more manageable. You can easily loop through the array to input or output values, making repetitive tasks much more efficient. Arrays are especially useful when you don't know exactly how many values you'll need to store ahead of time, or when you want to perform the same operation on a group of items. This is why arrays are a fundamental concept in programming, helping you write cleaner, smarter code. Arrays come in two main types: single-dimensional and double-dimensional. A single-dimensional array is like a straight line of boxes, each holding a value. For example, int a equals new int 10 creates an array that can store 10 integers. You can also create arrays for other data types like float, char, or string. Initializing an array is simple, just provide the values directly, like int I equals 12,345. When you initialize an array with values, you don't need to specify its size. The array will automatically have as many elements as you provide. Remember, you can use the length property to find out how many elements are in your array. This is not a function, just a property, so you use it without parentheses. Use arrays effectively, you often need to input and display their contents. This is usually done with loops. For example, you can use a for loop to read values into an array and another loop to print them out. Arrays allow you to perform various operations, such as searching, sorting, merging, inserting, and deleting elements. Searching is one of the most basic operations. Linear search, for instance, checks each element one by one until it finds the target value. This method is simple but can be slow for large arrays. Arrays are powerful tools that make handling groups of data much easier, and mastering them is essential for any programmer.